If you could be an animal for a day, what would you be and why?
Mm.
Okay, my top answer used to be, yeah, because I had that ready for people. I used to say that
Good morning, Mustangs. Welcome back to the podcast, Career Talk with the CIA. I'm your host, Kylie.
And I'm your co-host, Lucy.
And I'm your co-host, Eliza.
Today we are joined by Dr. Armstrong, one of our education professors. Thank you for joining us today, Dr. Armstrong.
Thank you for having me.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
What would you like to know?
Anything.
And everything.
I am Dr. Erica Armstrong. I taught in the public schools for 16 years, at kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade, before I became a professor. I started out here about 5 years ago and actually received my doctorate from USW. I was a bachelor, master's, and doctorate from USW, so definitely proud alumni.
Heck yeah.
I have 2 children. My daughter is 23. She graduated from ENMU, and she is a teacher in Lubbock, Texas. And my son is 18 and just graduated this past year, and he is working because he decided college was not for him.
Let's change his mind. Switch up the podcast. Just kidding.
So what led you to becoming a professor here at USW?
I'm going to be really honest here, guys. When I got out of high school, I had a really fun summer and partied a lot on all my graduation money. And my mom told me, you're either going to school or you're getting a job. So which one is it going to be? And I told her, let's do that school thing. So she drugged me to NMJC and I enrolled. And NMJC said, what do you want to major in? And I was like, I have no idea what I want to major in, but teachers get summers off. So that sounds like a really good plan. So I signed up for education. Well, I was a solid C student in high school, you know, so I got into education courses and loved it. It really just awakened everything academic in me, and it was the first thing I really felt good about besides choir. And so I tried hard and got A's, and I've graduated with honors and cum laude before, and so education is just, I think, the most amazing major you can pick.
What inspired you to choose the career path you chose?
Summer breaks. Which, by the way, I found out real quick, you really don't get a full summer break. You do a lot of extra learning because they always present new curriculums throughout the summer, new textbooks throughout the summer, and so you're constantly sharpening your skills and taking workshops and webinars and things like that. And then at USW, I teach summer courses in the master's program. So, I mean, it's online, so it's easier, but, you know, I can do it at the pool, but, but you know, you're still working.
So what was it like teaching in elementary and secondary school?
Elementary, I started in the 6th grade. That was interesting. I moved down to 3rd grade. I loved it. That was difficult sometimes, though, because by that time they had already had all of their basics for reading and math sometimes, and it would be difficult to catch them up at that point. Sometimes it felt like you were almost too late. So then I moved down to kindergarten, and I loved kindergarten. I did kindergarten for 9 years, and it was a whole lot of fun, but it was exhausting in a different way. You don't grade papers, but you tie shoes, and you know, you wipe a lot of tears, and you blow a lot of noses, and so it's a little bit different type of work, but it's still good work. And then I decided I wanted to go with my passion, which was history. And so I wanted to move up to middle school so I could teach just specifically history. So I moved up to middle school and I taught 7th grade New Mexico history and geography, which was one of my favorites as well.
I liked that class. I actually passed it.
It's a great class.
I didn't mind that
And
class.
I will have to say that 7th graders are just kindergartners in bigger bodies, and so are undergraduates.
Wait, you
said
said
just
grade? You said 6th grade in elementary?
Yeah,
Where'd
we
you
used to
teach at?
when I taught at Mills, 6th grade was still in elementary. It was not moved up to middle school until my daughter started middle school.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite grade to teach?
I love them all for different reasons, but I have to say, I really love my undergraduate students. I mean, it's so fun. And even when I feel like I'm exhausted, those future teachers, man, they're so excited to get into the classroom, and they're so excited to be out there and make a difference in kids' worlds. It energizes me and makes me excited about the job and just about education in general. So I would say the undergraduates are probably one of my tops.
That's cute.
We have some fun questions for you. Each of us do.
Okay.
Okay, if you were a kitchen utensil, what would you be?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to say I would be a blender because I like to mix it up and I like a good margarita.
Period.
Love that. Valid.
Even if it has no tequila, it can be totally mocktail.
Okay, so if you could be an animal for a day, what would you be and why?
Okay, my top answer used to be, because I had that ready for people. I used to say that my spirit animal and the animal I'd want to be was an octopus because, they randomly punch fish for no reason. And sometimes I just feel that way. So they're my spirit animal. But lately, have y'all seen that brand new tiny pygmy hippo that was born in Thailand?
With the
I
little
love her
blood
so much. If
show.
you're not following her, you need to. She's the best. Look her up. Brand new baby pygmy hippo, Thailand.
They have like a whole like makeup line to match like her because she has cute little pink cheeks.
Yes,
and they have a whole
you'll
makeup line
thank me
now.
later. She's fantastic.
She's so sweet. So this one isn't really that fun, but I do want to know, what is your favorite restaurant here in Hobbs?
Oh my goodness. I'm such a total foodie too. So it really would depend on what mood I'm in. I mean, my go-to that I know is always going to be solid and I'm always going to get the best meal is Mexican at El Caballero on Marland. Shout out to El Cab. They are fantastic. Although I do like, and if I'm looking for a more American cantina style, we'll hit Tijuana's occasionally. And I do like Tokyo. And I
Love Tokyo.
love ramen. So May's Foodie Hub has a really good spicy ramen. If you ever go there in the mall, a lot of people forget about it and don't think about it, but it's a little bit of a hidden gem. So I'm gonna say
We pass by it all the
'Cause I've
time. Never
been
thought
to
about going in
any
there.
of those places.
you gotta go.
Have you been to
Listen,
the Rockin' Taco at all?
No, I was just talking to Elena
Is it good?
about
Rockin'
I wanna
Taco
go.
is actually in my neighborhood. I live right behind Green Meadows Lake, so sometimes we walk to Rockin' Taco.
No,
I
Rockin'
mean,
Taco
I was
just to
just
have
talking to
tacos.
Elena about how we have to go try it.
I know. I've been saying it.
Every
Every time
time
my
we
dad
pass
comes,
by.
it's always closed. So
The steak avocado, if you like
Ooh.
guacamole or avocados,
Ooh,
the
yes.
steak avocados
That sounds good.
are
All right.
like bomb.
Gotta go.
Can't
Ooh,
go wrong.
okay, Elena, you hear that? We're going. Do you have an experience with that?
Well, that's just
Bad?
if you're weak. Everybody else can handle it.
Shadow beans are my favorite.
I know I love Jaro beans too.
Really good. Those are the only beans I'll eat because I don't like beans. So, what's your philosophical approach towards teaching?
So I definitely believe in the philosophy of educating the whole child. We're at a point where school has become more and more responsible for raising children, let's be honest. And so I feel like it's really important that we teach those children those civic responsibilities, those social emotional ways to deal with feelings. Conflict resolution is very important these days. I feel like sometimes people are just getting meaner and meaner and meaner to each other, especially during voting season. We won't talk about that. But
That could be a different podcast.
yeah, no kidding. So I think, conflict resolution and things like that are also as important as algebra or history. And I definitely am a big proponent of history because I do 100% believe that if you don't learn from history, you are doomed to repeat it. And so there are many things that, I know when I would get history students, they would tell me, oh, social studies and history is my least favorite class. And I was like, okay, well then we're going to change that this year because I want it to be your most favorite class. And so, it was always a big challenge to me to make sure my students left my classroom feeling engaged and that
And
they
not
were
dreading it.
knowledgeable. Yes. Same way with my education courses here.
Favorite thing about your job?
One of my all-time favorite things about my job is the weeks that I get to go into the classroom and observe my student teachers. I do 3 observations of each student teacher, and I get to see them in action. And that's always just such a fun week to have because you get to see them growing and becoming their own teachers and getting their own ideas. And it's always just exciting to go and visit them and watch them interact with the kids and do their thing. It's like a culmination of all those classes they've taken. Finally, they get to put it into practice and really do it. And so that's one of my favorite parts.
Okay, so adding on to that, what's the most challenging aspect of your job?
Grading papers.
You're so real.
No, really. One of the most challenging things is, making sure students are in it. Sometimes you'll have a student go through all the classes and then it's time for them to start student teaching and they get in there and they think, this is not for me. I made a mistake. I don't like this, And so I feel like one of the challenges is making sure that they're ready and they know 100% that that's what they want to do, because if teaching isn't 100% in your heart, you shouldn't be a teacher.
Yeah.
We're not in it for the money, folks. Let's be honest. And so, you have to make sure. And so that's, we go through a lot of trials and tribulations before they get to student teaching. For example, they have to do several hours of field observation and actually be in a classroom. They learn several theories of teaching, and they discuss their own feelings and emotions towards teaching and how to be a professional. And so we try to really prepare them to be day one ready teachers when they get into the classroom.
Okay, so you've been helping out with our upcoming Career Mixer event with community schools. So can you tell us about this event and why students should attend?
Yes, absolutely. So I want you to realize, I don't know if you do, but in most communities, schools are typically the number one employer. Schools employ more people than just teachers and substitutes. Think about what it takes to run a school on a daily basis. Just like when you guys presented, why should students come to this career mixer? Because, even if you're not in education, there might be a job for you at a school. Are you going to grow up and be a nurse someday? Guess what? Every school has a nurse.
Yeah.
Do you want to be a doctor? Well, multiple schools have clinics these days and actually have physicians just for those students.
Oh, yeah,
Again,
my
like I
school did.
said, teaching the whole child, right? We take care of their health even. And so, finance, well, you can work at central office. Somebody's got to cut those paychecks. So there's definitely a job for everybody in a school district because it takes a village to raise our children of our community. And so, whether you want to be a culinary arts and prepare all the meals that you're going to give the children and make sure that it has all the nutrition and flavor that they need, there's a spot for you.
Not only for education majors, right?
Not at all. Everybody can come. Shoot me a major that you think wouldn't be in a school district, and I can tell you how they would be.
I really can't think of one. Because, we're all psychology majors, and we have a place in the school district.
Absolutely. Counselors, we need more and more every day. Social workers, school resource officers, even if you're going into being a police officer, that you still can be posted at a school, and they have to have a special heart that is close to the children and is able to communicate with them and relate to them. And so there's all kinds of reasons why every student at USW should go and visit with the schools. Well, business majors, they can run the financial part of it, the accounting part of it. We also have several who create the budget and say, For example, which textbooks are going to be purchased or what supplies are going to be given to teachers and students. For example, when we had COVID hit and every student needed to be supplied a Chromebook so that they could continue classes, the business office was the first go-to we went to and said, can we afford this? Can we even do this? And so, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you're the faculty advisor for KDP. Can you tell us about this student organization here?
Yes. Kappa Delta Pi is a educational honor society. It's nationwide. It's been in existence for over 100 years.
Oh, dang.
And it offers quite a bit of support to educators and then those who want to go beyond the classroom. So like say diagnosticians, counselors, principals, administration, athletic directors. They also provide assistance for people who want to go into like kinesiology and be athletic directors or coaches or things like that in the schools. And so they offer things like scholarships. Once you're in your classroom, they offer grants so you can afford like new technology or maybe a new set of soccer balls if you're a coach. I don't know what coaches need. But, they can provide grants for all those things. And they also provide a large network of educators. So you can get to online and be a part of a community that gives you free professional development, free journal articles and information from peer-reviewed articles about education or counseling or psychology or coaching. And so it's just a really great resource.
Nice.
So we have heard that you have a laundry business here in Hobbs. Can you tell us about it, and do you offer student discounts?
Well, I do.
I like that last question.
I know, it's a good one right there.
We actually own a couple of businesses in Hobbs. My husband has oil and gas laboratory, and we do oil and gas analysis for the oil field and also measurement. And then we used to own the skating rink here when Hobbs had a skating rink many years ago. And when we, I know, I miss it terribly. I skate in Lubbock every chance I get it.
Stop, because I worked at a skating rink over the summer.
Oh,
I'm like best friends with the owners. Or like family friends, not best friends because they're like 60. But
See, that was the best thing about when Sydney went to Eastern. They had a skating rink in Portales, and so we would skate every time we went and watched her cheer in her games.
Stop. That's
So
cute.
when we had to sell it because the man who owned the building didn't want it to be a skating rink anymore, we got out of that business, and the laundromat showed up. It just like dropped on our laps, and so we went ahead and bought it. And so we own Wash Away Laundry in Hobbs, and I bet we can offer some student discounts.
I will be stopping by because quarters are getting real low.
And my son actually runs the pickup and delivery portion of it. So if you are online and schedule, he will actually come out to USW and pick up your laundry and deliver it back to you as well.
You guys want to combine loads?
I got some towels.
I got some.
Career advice do you have for students?
Oh my, going into any career or going into education specifically or all of the above?
All the above.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Anything.
Okay. So if you're going into education specifically, I would say network. One of the most important things you can do, especially during student teaching, is really show up, dress professionally, be there as much as you can. Don't ever say, that's not my job. Because everything can be your job. Everybody needs a hand. And so, show that you're a go-getter and you're really wanting to be out there and get a classroom of your own. Talk to the principal, talk to the secretary. She's super important. I can't even begin to tell you how much a secretary is important. If they need to hire a long-term sub or want a new teacher, I guarantee you they're going to call the student teacher that they liked and got along with. So yeah, network. And then I'm going to say that works for just about every career. I mean, you really want to get out there and prove that you can do it and be a go-getter and be professional at all times. And I get it. I know sometimes you have like casual Friday or, homecoming week. We would dress up with silly stuff and pajama day, and we loved it.
Favorite time of the year.
100%. But you know, you do have to try to remain professional. Dress is important. Attitude is important. All of those things really add up to make sure you have career success.
Dr. Armstrong, do you have any questions for us at all?
So, are you guys going to the mixer for the
I
schools?
would like to.
Yes.
Yay! Excellent. I especially are all psychology? Is that what you said? Everyone?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely take the time at least to visit with some
Is
of
it-
those schools.
Is it here?
Yes, it'll be here
Okay.
in the
Atrium?
atrium.
Oh, okay, cool, cool.
Thank you so much again, Dr. Armstrong,
Yes,
for joining
thank
us
you.
today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Of course.
I hope you learned a little something about me and education and maybe USW even.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
So thank you for watching this week's podcast. Be sure to tune in for the next one.
Your co-host, Jaden Romig.
I'm your co-host, dot, dot, dot.
dot.
I'm scared. Hold on. Don't do it. Oh, so even if I didn't want to go, I have to go. No, I wanted to go. It's okay. When I said it in the skit, it was real.
It was real.
I planned on
It was a
going.
skit.
It wasn't a skit. It wasn't a skit. You hear me?
Oh, she's spinning. We didn't turn on
Hey,
the
you're
lamp in the corner.
I was going to mention that too.
Just kidding.
But it
Things out.
adios, spooky.
Spooky.